got to liven up for me. I'm nervous, my heart.
You nervous? You nervous?
I was just like at the last minute. I changed my whole thing. Bear with me. Well, welcome. My name is Lenise Smith, but everyone calls me NuNuu. Can you hear me? Okay. Born and raised in Hartford, Connecticut. I'm a spoken word artist, actress, a model. I don't really like to talk about myself. What I'm going to do for you today is I put together a few presentations of monologues. Oh, that sounds good. Monologues, quotes from African Americans, excerpts of speech, because I do think it is, as African American, it's important, in any of our histories, it's important to look back and to pay tribute to the people who came before us, who paved the way, who made it possible to do the things that we do, there's people who made it possible for me to stand before you right now. And I think it's very important to pay their respects. Whether it's just a thought about them, one person a day, or doing something like this. So that will be the first portion. The second portion, I will share my own work. You'll probably know it's my work because, one, I'll say, this is mine now. And two, because I won't need a piece of paper, more than likely. I don't know. This is like my first time doing something like this, so I'm excited and nervous. Does anyone have any questions or anything before I begin? I hope you enjoy this. I really do. Okay. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
No, no. Somebody has to be ready in here. It's not me. Okay. Oh, yes. NuNuu. The name NuNuu means to praise, to glorify, to extol. And that's what I seek to do in everything that I do. I try to do my best in everything. And it's to praise, to glorify, and extol my God, my higher power. Let's begin. This is a quote by Carter G. Woodson. Five guys, really? Oh, awesome. We should emphasize not Negro history, but the Negro in history. What we need is not a history of selected races or nations, but the history of the world void of national bias, race hate, and religious prejudice. And that was Carter G. Woodson on the founding of Negro History Week, 1926. What I'm going to share with you next is a monologue. That's not going to work, is it? All right. All right. Because I don't think anyone will be able to hear me.
It's all the moving backs.
Oh, so I can't move.
No, you can, but...
Okay. Well, this is a monologue that I like last night, and I thought it was so awesome. It's entitled "Do Lord Remember Me," and it's by James DeJohn. And it's set in an old folks home in Virginia. And the woman's name is Henrietta King. And she has a terribly scarred face. And she basically explains how she got this scarred face. Do Lord, remember me. Do Lord, remember me. Do Lord, remember me. Oh, do Lord, remember me. Ain't got no education. And I don't know when I was born. But I do know that I was born a slave. I tell you what I do know. And what I tell you is true. See this face? See this mouth all twisted over here so I can't shut it. See that tie? Already in it. Been that way about 80-some years now. Guess it's gonna stay that way till I die. Well, it was old Mrs. made my face that way. Want to know about slave days? Well, I tell you what slave days was like. Marshall was a well-meaning man, but old Mrs. was a common dog. In the house, old Mrs. was so stingy that she didn't put enough on the table to feed a swallow. Well, here's how it happened. She put that piece of candy on the Washington one day. I was about 8 or 9 years old. And it was my task to empty the slot every morning. I see that candy laying there. And I was hungry. Ain't had no father working in the fields like some of the children that bring me eats. Had just little pieces of scrap back every morning. Yeah. I see that peppermint laying there. And I ain't did go there because I knew old Mrs. was just wanting me to take it. Then one morning I was so hungry, I can't resist. I went straight in there and I grabbed that stick of candy and I stuffed it in my mouth real quick so Mrs. wouldn't see me with it. Next morning, old Mrs. said, "Henrietta, you take that piece of candy there." I said, "No, ma'am, ain't seen no candy." "Child, you lying to me. You took that candy." "Dear Mrs., I tells the truth. I ain't seen no candy." "You lying and I'm gonna whoop you." "Please don't whoop me. I ain't seen no candy. I ain't took it." Well, she grabbed that raw hide off the hook there. It was laying on the fire, over the fireplace. And she grabbed my arm and she turned me across her knees while she sat in her rocker so she could hold me. I twisted and turned till finally she called her daughter. And the gal came back. She took the strap like her mother told her, and she commenced to lay it on me real hard. While Mrs. holding. I twisted, I turned, so there wasn't no good chance of them getting it a good lick. Then old Mrs. lifted me by the legs and she stuck my head under the rocking chair. And she rocked forward so as to hold my head under the chair. And she rocked forward so as to hold my head some more. I guess they must have whipped me about near an hour with that rocking leg pressing down on my head. Next thing I knew, the old doctor was there, and I was lying on my pallet in the hall, and he was pushing and digging on my face. Seemed like that rocker had pressed my young bones and had crushed them all to a soft pulp. The next day I couldn't open my mouth, and I feel it wasn't no bones in the left side at all. And my mouth kept slipping over to the right side. I couldn't chow nothing, only drank milk. Well, Mrs. must have got kind of sorry, because she gets the doctor to come regularly to pry my mouth open. He get it after a while so it opened, and I could move my lips, but he kept moving over to the right side, and I couldn't stop that. And I ain't never grown no more teeth on that left side. Ain't never been able to chow nothing good since. Been eating stews and soups. I don't even remember what it's like to chow. Been eating liquids and stews. And that been 80-some years ago. Here, put your hand on my face right now. Right here on this left cheek. That's what slavery days was like. It made it so go and look around. I look around like a false face and they're chilling. They run from me and the babies, they cry from me. Of course, I don't mind them all. I've been like this so long, I don't even think about it. Except when I see somebody staring. They wonder when the devil got in me. It made my face this way. And it was a devil done it. Oh, it was a she-devil done it. Huh. Oh, missus. It's a burning and twisting in hell. Used to see her sometime looking at me. She didn't know I knew she was looking at me. She must have got tired of having me around because she sold me to her master's cousin. Was with him till freedom come. They let me stay around, except they paid me some money at the end of every month. Stayed with him till I got married, and soon after I got married, I found out old missus had died. He made me drag moon chills. So I found that monologue. I found that monologue very interesting, and it caught me right off the bat. Because even though we read about it, we see movies about it, we don't really know what slavery days were like. And just to think of her bones being crushed on the side of her face, and that's what she refers to slavery being like, her bones crushed. Can't chew, no teeth, red eye, just to have that visual kind of made me feel something on the inside. Booker T. Washington said that success is measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life, but the obstacles which he has overcome. And that's very interesting, because we have so many people in high positions. Interestingly, we have so many people in a high position, and we envy them at times. And we envy their position, we envy their money, but we don't know what it took for them to get there. I don't know what it took for you to go to college. It may have taken you a lot. Some people have money, some people don't. Some people have to struggle for one, some people don't. Some people, we all have our different struggles. So I found that interesting.
All right, that's good.
This next piece is actually an excerpt. from what has become one of my favorite speeches. It is an excerpt from Drum Major by Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Oh, the jacket helps me feel Martin Luther King. Every now and then, I guess, we all think realistically about the day when we will be victimized with what is life's final common denominator. That's something we call death. We all think about it. And every now and then, I think about my own death. And I think about my own funeral. And I don't think of it in a morbid sense. And every now and then I ask myself, what is it I would want said? And I leave the word with you this morning. If you are around when I have met my day, I don't want a long funeral. And if you get somebody to deliver the eulogy, tell them not to talk too long. And every now and then I wonder what I want them to say. Tell them not to mention that I have a Nobel Peace Prize. That is not important. Tell them not to mention that I have 300 or 400 other awards. That's not important. Tell them not to mention where I went to school. I'd like somebody to mention on that day that Martin Luther King tried to give his life serving others. I'd like for somebody to mention that day that Martin Luther King tried to love somebody. I want you to say that day that I tried to be right on the war question. I want you to be able to say that day that I did try to feed the hungry. And I want you to be able to say that day that I did try in my life to clothe those who were naked. I want you to say on that day that I did try, in my life to visit those who were in prison. I want you to say in that day that I did try to serve humanity. Yes. If you want to say that I was a drum major, say that I was a drum major for justice. Say that I was a drum major for peace. I was a drum major for righteousness, and all of the other shallow things will not matter. I won't have money to leave behind. I won't have the fine and luxurious things in life to leave behind. But I just want to leave a committed life behind. And that's all I want to say. If I can help somebody, I pass along. If I can cheer somebody with a word or song, if I can show somebody they're traveling home, then my life will not be in vain. If I can do my duty as a Christian ought, if I can bring salvation to a world once wrought, if I can spread the message as the Master taught, then my living will not be in vain. Every time I read that, I actually think of what would I want to be said at my eulogy. And then I realize that I don't really want to think about it. But all of these things, he didn't want to be known for his awards, his prizes, where he went to school. He wanted to be known primarily for his contributions to humanity. And I think that it's important to leave a good legacy behind. So people will continue your legacy and keep talking about it. And even if people forget, there's always that one person that's going to remember and going to bring you back up. And then it's going to start all over again. And you may end up with your own day. Muhammad Ali, the greatest. I am America. I'm the part you won't recognize, but get used to me. Black, confident, cocky, my name not yours. My religion not yours. My goals, my own. Get used to me. I think we should all switch that up and put it on there. Mine, not yours. We should all be individuals. I love being an individual. You can be an individual within the collective. Point blank period. All right. This is one of my favorite pieces. This is The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. Who's heard this? No? The Revolution Will Not Be Televised? Nobody. Oh. You may like it, you may not. This was written by Gil Scott Heron, poet from the 1970s. You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, or cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself in skag or skip out for beer during commercials, because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Adams, Spyro Agnew, to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bonwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution will not get rid of nubs. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner, because the revolution will not be televised, brother. There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run, or trying to slide that color television into a stolen ambulance. NBC will not be able to predict the winner at 8:32, nor report from 29 districts. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers in the instant replay. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers in the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still life of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in a red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit that he had been saving for just the proper occasion. Green Acres, the Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be so damned relevant. And women will not care if Dick finally goes down with Jane on Search for Tomorrow, because black people will be in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news, and no pictures of hairy armed women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb, Francis Scott Key, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, Engelbert Humperdinck, or The Rare Earth. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be right back after a message about a white tornado, white lightning, or white people. We will not have to worry about a dove in your bedroom, a tiger in your tank, or the giant in your toilet bowl. The revolution will not go better with Coke. The revolution will not fight the germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live. I don't know about, well, if you haven't heard that piece before, you wouldn't have thought of this, but when I saw the revolution actually being televised in Egypt, I was like, the revolution is being televised. The revolution is being televised. That was a moment. Sorry. Made me want to write a poem about the revolution being televised. Okay. This next piece is actually near and dear to my heart. I am, and we're doing a second run of this. Actually, I'll take this off. Has anyone ever seen or heard of For Color Girls Who Have Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Was Enough? Yeah, y'all got a hand. Woohoo! You with a cookie? It's right back there. You're welcome. We ran this in August of last year, and we're actually doing it again in May 20th, 21st, and 22nd at the Trinity on Main in New Britain. So I'll give you all my website information after I finish, and maybe you'll come. I would love to see your faces. Anyway, I am apparently the lady in green. The quote. This quote's by Billie Holiday. You can be up to your boobies in white satin with gardenias in your hair and no sugar cane for miles, but you can still be working on a plantation. For Color Girls Who Have Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Was Enough was written by Enso Sakashanga. If you've ever seen this picture, then you've kind of sort of heard of For Color Girls. Somebody almost run off with all of my stuff. Not my poems or dance I gave up in the street, but somebody almost run off with all of my stuff. Like a kleptomaniac working hard and forgetting while stealing. This is mine. This ain't your stuff. Now why don't you put me back and let me hang out in my own self? Somebody almost run off with all of my stuff. And didn't care enough to send a note home saying I was late for my solo conversation or 2 sizes too small for my own tacky skirts. I mean, what can anybody do with something of no value on an open market? Did you get a dime for my things? Hey man, where you going with all of my stuff? This is a woman's trip and I need my things to ooh and ah about. Daddy. I got a mainline number from my own stuff. Now why don't you put me back and let me play this duet with this silver ring in my nose? Honest to God, somebody almost run off with all of my stuff. And I didn't bring nothing but the kick and sway of it and the perfect behind for my man, and none of it is theirs. This is mine. NuNuu, her own things, that's my name. See, looking at my dad. And how I sit with my legs open sometimes to give my crotch some sunlight. And there goes my love, my chewed up fingernails, brother, with the curls in your hair, Mr. Louisiana. I want my stuff back. My rhythms and my voice. Open my mouth and let me talk. Y'all to throw my stuff in the sewer. This is some delicate leg and whimsical kiss I got to have to give to my choice without you running off with all of my stuff. Now you can't have it unless I give me away, and I was doing all of that till you run off on a good thing. And who is this you left me with? Some simple witch with a bad attitude? I want my things. I want my arm with the hot iron scar. And I want my leg with the flea bite. I want my caddis feet and quick language back in my mouth. Fried plantains, pineapple, pear juice, sunrise, and Joseph and Jules. I want my stuff back. How I live. And give me my memories. How I was when I was there. You can't have them nor do nothing with them. Stealing my stuff from me don't make it yours. Makes it stolen. Somebody almost run off with all of my stuff. And I was just standing there, looking at myself the whole time. And it wasn't a spirit took all my stuff. It was a man. It was a man whose ego walked around like Rodin's shadow. It was a man fast in my innocence. It was a lover I made too much room for, almost run off with all of my stuff. And I didn't know I'd give it up so quick. And the one running with it don't even know he got it. I'm standing here yelling, "This is mine!" And he don't even know he got it. My stuff is the anonymous ripped-off treasure of the year. Do you know somebody almost got away with me in a plastic bag under their arm? Me, dangling on a string of personal carelessness. I'm spattered in mud and city rain, and no, I didn't even get a chance to take a douche. Hey man, this is not your prerogative. I gotta have me in my pocket to get around like a good woman should and make the poem in the pot or the chicken in the dance. What I gotta do, I got to have my stuff eat. Why don't you get your own things and leave this package of me for me and my destiny? Well, what you gotta get for me? I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Around 5 o'clock in the winter when the sky is blue red and Dew City is getting pressed. If it's really my stuff, you got to give it to me if you really want it. I'm the only one who can handle it. Thank you. Even though the title of this book and this production is for colored girls who have considered suicide when the rainbow is enough, it's really a production for all women. You'll find if you attend and you are a woman, you will find a little bit of yourself in any of the women. We are all the colors of the rainbow. We have red, green, yellow, orange, and blue, and brown. Brown is a conglomerate of everyone. So hopefully you'll attend. Martin Luther King Jr. And so we shall have to do more than register and more than vote. We shall have to create leaders who embody virtues we can respect, who have moral and ethical principles we applaud with enthusiasm. I found that quote very interesting because a lot of times I think in elections we vote, some of us vote for the sake of voting. We have no idea what's going on. Like, oh, he's cool or she's cool, whether it's in a presidential election or gubernatorial, whatever have you. But it's important that we don't just vote, that we vote for people whose morals and ways and just their everything they embody that we respect. Oh my gosh, my voice is cracking. This last piece I would like to share, that is someone else's. It's entitled The Black Family Pledge. It's by Maya Angelou. However, I feel like I can X the black off of there because it's really a family pledge. It can apply to all of us. I don't think we need to exclude anyone, and I feel that the title excludes. Because we have forgotten our ancestors, our children no longer give us honor. Because we have lost the path our ancestors cleared, kneeling in perilous undergrowth, our children cannot find their way. Because we have banished the God of our ancestors, our children cannot pray. Because the old wells of our ancestors have faded beyond our hearing, our children cannot hear us cry. Because we have abandoned the wisdom of mothering and fathering. Our befuddled children give birth to children they neither want nor understand. Because we have forgotten how to love, the adversary is within our gates and holds us up to mirrors of the world, shouting, "Regard the loveless." Therefore, we pledge to bind ourselves to one another, to embrace our lowliest, to keep company with our loneliest, to educate our illiterate, to feed our starving, to clothe our ragged, to do all good things, knowing that we are more than keepers of our brothers and sisters. We are our brothers and sisters. In honor of those who toiled and employed God with golden tongues, and in gratitude of the same God who brought us out of hopeless desolation, we make this pledge. That was by Maya Angelou. Excuse me. Oh, my pieces. Woo-hoo. Did you enjoy that at all? I'm trying to remember what it was like to be in school and just sitting, your instructor telling you, "Oh, you have to go here and listen to this person who you've never heard of before." So I hope you. I forgot that was nobody was gonna tell me that's messed up. You're supposed to be my brothers and sisters. That's messed up. Are you laughing at that stuff? This is why we can't come together as much. I am working on my first book of poetry, which will be entitled "And Then There Was." So these are poems that will be in that first book, and I will keep my website updated as to when this book will come out. I'm planning for before May 1st. Does anyone have any questions on me right now? I feel like it was like... I guess that would be a no. This first piece is my ode to poetry. A lot of people think it's an ode to a child that I don't have. In a way, poetry is my child. It manifests inside of me. It comes out of here, it comes out of my pen. This piece is entitled "My Firstborn." You came to me as a blessing from the Most High, conceived of love and patience, growing within me over time, taking the form of truth. In contemplation about when you would make your presence known and your message understood. Manifesting your own destiny while shining a light on mine, causing my elements to expand in anticipation of your arrival. Amazing to think that I nourished you to life. Even more amazing to know that you breathed life into the depths of my soul, giving meaning to my existence and essence to my being. Your birth, a long and difficult process. I never knew joy to occupy the same space in the same time. But I know now, and I cherish you. You are my firstborn of so many names. For every time I see you, you mean something different, something more, something great. You who came to me as a blessing from the Most High, conceived of love, making me whole. And that was just my little ode to poetry. I feel bad, like, you're like waiting for the pause so you can clap. I feel bad. You don't have to clap. It's okay. I don't mind crickets. They sound nice. This piece is entitled I Am. And I just gave it a title because it was a title, but I felt like it needed a title. Does anyone in here write poetry? Like, jeez, tough crowd. Songs? Essays? Your name? What do you do? Excuse me. I am. My skin is brown and clear, for knowledge is more purified than water. And I've been blessed with a permanent thirst. It's bittersweet and never satisfying enough, but the craving is strong. My hair, brown, roots kinky and smooth like the reggae. You can't jimmy my locks, there's no master key. The master is the key. The knowledge flows free for those with true thirst. My eyes brown and deep like hearts and souls, into which you can see if you have the vision. Who am I? Beautiful African woman. Not born on the continent. Never blessed enough to suckle from mama's teat or bury my fears in the warmth of her bosom. But Africa is not where you live. She is who you are. So, I am beautiful African woman. Dynamic, diverse, devoted, and dedicated to the upliftment of my people. My brothers and sisters, and all those who fall in between. No money to offer. I give of myself freely. Mind, heart. For there is nothing that can keep me from loving you. And no one who can stop me from teaching you. My life, my world, my universe. I look at you and I see myself. We are one, kings and queens, descendants of the sun. As a poet, I attend a lot of open mics and slams, and sometimes, I guess, we can be, as spoken word artists, poets, we can be kind of critical of other people. Or oftentimes there's just some people who get up and it's just like, what? They're using words that they don't know what it means. Like if you have to sit there with a dictionary and you're trying to figure out words to use with a whole bunch of syllables, and when I come up to you and I ask you, you know what does that mean? And you can't tell me, then you probably shouldn't have included in your poem. But that's how I feel sometimes. And I get frustrated sometimes at poets who so there are some poets who use their poetry as a means to an end. To hook up with people. We do have poets that do that. Sound nice and just to get someone's number or things like that. There's certain things in the poetry realm that just frustrate me. And this is kind of for that. It also talks about myself too. I love you. But you got me sliding down jagged black rainbows into rust-encrusted pots of fool's gold overdose. They say taste the rainbow. But all I can do is OD on candy-coated pain drops, and not even the ocean of my tears can wash away this nauseating sensation which you have so poignantly placed upon my palate. I've had it. My patience is tattered, torn. And no, I'm not coming at you as a poet scorn. This is real talk. BS walks and birds squawk, but I speak. I am a poet. I was not designed to appease the meek. See, the truth of the reality is that you think you see me, but you don't see me. And I just forgot the rest of that poem, so I'm going to give a piece of paper. My mind's all over it. I'm going to start over, because I can do that because I have a microphone. I love you. But you got me sliding down jagged black rainbows into rust-encrusted pots of fool's gold overdose. They say taste the rainbow. But all I can do is OD on candy-coated pain drops, and not even the ocean of my tears can wash away this nauseating sensation which you have so poignantly placed upon my palate. I've had it. My patience is tattered, torn. And no, I'm not coming at you as a poet scorn. This is real talk. BS walks and birds squawk, but I speak. I am poet. Hear me roar. I was not designed to appease the meek. See, the truth of the reality is that you just may never see me. Years are reflecting upon my reflection in the looking glass, and even I couldn't see the divinity that lies deep within me, far beyond this exterior you see. And all it took was faith the size of a single mustard seed for me to see that I can paint metaphoric masterpieces that melt your minds and measure across millenniums of mediums, and you still won't see that I can sing melodious melodies that'll move magnificent mountains into monstrous seas, and you still won't see that it's not blood that pulsates through my body, but purifying tsunamis of crimson red ink. Burn my tablets on its back, and you just might raise the Sphinx. Bury my notebooks in the pyramids in Egypt, just may rise again. I am a poet. I did away with childish things the moment I picked up my pen. God placed me upon this earth so you can call me a godsend. He said there's power in your words and strength in your pen. The stage is your pulpit. These people, your congregation. For I am a poet. For you have been chosen, and I don't choose lightly. So oftentimes I pick up my pen in spite of me, for I am a poet, blessed with this art that he placed in my spirit, so it makes it my heart. For I am a poet, a wordsmith on a mission, a soldier in this army of words, forever at attention. I apologize. You accept my apology?
Sure.
I write about love, too. I'm not just bad. This piece is entitled Remembering Love. I take him into my lungs with every breath that I breathe. I can feel his hands in the water that embraces my body as I bathe, and taste him in the tea that I sip from my cup. I can smell him in the oils that I wear around my neck, behind my ears, around my waist, and in the wind that caresses my countenance. I sense him in the sunshine that warms my soul, and experience him in each drop of rain that lands as love taps upon my face. I hear him in the songs that take my breath away and lead me into the lonely, enchanted forest of my thoughts. I believe in him with every ounce of hope residing in my spirit. And with every drop of love that inhabits my being, my heart, I maintain faith in him. The children. In the children, I see future reflection of he and I made one in love, flesh and spirit. And the stars. The stars are a symphony composed of the letters in his name. And the planets? The planets are a manifestation of his thoughts, desires, dreams, and aspirations. I hear his voice in the rising of the sun. And in the rays of the moon, I hear whispers of his soul's deepest secrets. The clouds resting in their beds of air in the heavens remind me that he was love personified, embodied, made flesh. He is royalty in his own right, in my own heart. A distant descendant of kings and queens, I humble myself before him. Never in worship, always in adoration, respect, love, and devotion. Always in faith, belief, confidence, and loyalty. Daily are my prayers exhumed for him from my soul to the Most High. Daily are the reminders of who, what, and why he is. The water, the tea, the oils, the wind, the sunshine, the rain, the songs, the hope, the love, the children, the stars, the planets, the moon, the clouds, all reminders of us, of them, of him. Love goes wrong. This is one of those. A few years ago, well, that's more than a few ago. In 2006, I moved to Miami for 2 years. Not a place to live. It's a place to visit. And I moved for love. And I'm back. So, this piece is entitled MIA, which not only stands for missing in action, but also Miami. Oh. Congratulations should have been condolences. A platinum noose placed around my left ring finger. The instant death of a star. It didn't fit. A believer in signs I should have known. But my thoughts were deaf, dumb, and blind. I love you more than. Dead woman walking. Never knew I was saying yes to a wolf in wolf's clothing. Or maybe I did. I mean, I saw you. So I should have seen you, right? No Red Riding Hood to warn me of the danger lurking ahead. My bread trail washed away by waves of fears. Learn from the experiences of others, I do. But those who came before me never came to warn me. Instant smiles delivered upon request. Fast, false, counterfeit. Should have seen it in your eyes. Or maybe I did. Black pits of anger, resentment, and history of emotions left unfelt. Words unsaid, and blows dealt like a bad hand. I fold. Then flesh. Nauseating thoughts. Praises to porcelain gods. God? Please. They call me Alice. That's not my name. This wonderland is hell. My reflection hurts. Breakable. Unbearable. Bruises on my canvas, displayed under lock and key. I never knew you were an artist. You never told me. The muse should know, right? Left. Wrong. No flamenco sketches here. painted in hues of black and blue, markings of a warrior, worn silently, painfully. The screaming reverbs, bouncing off walls primed in hurt and painted in shame. 3 coats, faux finish, no one knew, did they? Tears hidden behind waterproof mascara, no smudge, 24-hour wear, blacker than black, but one tear. One single, solitary tear escaped, evaporating before hitting the floor. It tried. No one notices. Forsaken. This is what love is. This is what love is? I thought, what is this? Should have smelled it on your breath, burnt Christmas trees and the ashes of past gone wrong. Presents lay under, painful. Let me sleep through to the light. I'm left to make things right, but I have nothing more to give. My fight has no fight. Who taught you how to love? I'm going to stay on the same note. This piece is entitled Free. This is the very first piece I ever performed in front of people at an open mic in like 2001 or 2002. It's along the same note, but it has a happy ending. Are you okay? Bear with me. My voice is all that. But I can't do it without the song in front. My soul is on fire. My soul is on fire. And my world is torn in two. Yes, my world is torn in two. And I know it's all because of you. While I'm paving your way, I'm losing my path. And while you say you don't put your stuff first, I always seem to come last. So intent on helping you to secure your grip, I'm losing my grasp now. This isn't fair. Is this actually supposed to last? See, I'm tired and I'm sick. I'm tired and I'm sick. I'm sick and I'm tired of being used, abused, alone, and confused. Excuse me. Why don't you take off yours and try to swim alongside this relationship in my suit birthday? Maybe then and only then will you see my point of view and understand exactly where I'm coming from too. Maybe then you'll see why I was hoping that as time ceaselessly flies, I will eventually mean more to you than someone to rub you down, lift you up, and cook your flipping food. Oh, pardon me, boo. I didn't mean to offend you, but you've got to understand the stuff that I'm going through, see? When my truth turns to falsehood, and my real becomes fake, and my reality morphs into a nightmare, where do I hide? Where do I run? How can I run? How can I run when my heart is on fire and my jaws are shut-wired and I can't seem to verbalize what I'm feeling inside? But if you would just take the time to look into these eyes. Just look into these eyes. No, deep into these eyes. If you're lucky enough, you might catch a glimpse of my soul, and perhaps then you'll see why I'm running. running like ghetto youth from leather butt whippings, running like tears down a morning cheek, running like broke toilets in concrete jungles, flush, jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Running like water over Niagara, falling, falling. Yes, I'm falling. Falling with nothing to break it and no one to catch me, because see, your arms are not outstretched yet. All I want to do is have you hold me in them. All I want is for you to hold me in your arms and rescue me from this deep, dark, lonely, endless void that my heart has fallen into. All I want is for you to be present with me, mind, soul, and body, and to comfort my lonely being when I feel completely and utterly empty inside. But how can you be here with me when you'd rather be there and over there? How can you be here with me when you'd rather chill with him and party with them and hang out with her, your quote female friend, but we won't go there now? See, all I want to do is be loved by you as you're loved by me, because at one point in time it was true, but I ask you this. How can love continue to love if the loving is not loving? How can you expect destiny to reach its destination if it's destroyed before it's designed to? Too many shattered promises and broken dreams. Yes, shattered promises and broken dreams. See, you may think it's the other way around, but things aren't always as they seem, so I've learned. I've learned that if I'm going to lift as I climb this pyramid we call life, I must rid myself of this heavy burden on my heart. That is you, my king, knight, prince, king, prince, knight, subject, present, pauper. Oh yes, you have been dethroned, detached, and de-owned. Yes, I said de-owned. Your title has been repossessed, cannot be revamped, and will never be re-established for you. You no longer hold my heart in your right and my soul in your left hand. See, you no longer hold that privilege. Now, I won't deny that I'm hurt, because to deny it would actually be to acknowledge it. To acknowledge it would actually be to empower it, and to empower the powerless in this case is impossible. And yes, before I continue, let's get a couple of things straight. Just because you had me, don't think that you've got me because you don't have me. And don't think that this has made me sour on love or bitter on you or salty on relationships, because it hasn't. See, I know that it will be bittersweet when he finds me. And I know that the latter will overshadow the former, and it may try to overwhelm me, but love will no doubt assist. See, love will have no reason to catch me, because he'll never let me fall unless it's in him. See, love will no doubt be the reason why I stay out late and come home early without even leaving the crib. See, love will be the one to breathe life into this lifeless soul, and it shall forever live on and on and on. Yes, love. He'll be on time, on beat, and on point. And I will wait, because I'm going to say this part because I would sing it. My spirit is inspired. My spirit is inspired. My heart is waiting for you. My heart is waiting for you, because I know you'll find me soon. I will torch you with the song. And the last piece I'm going to do is entitled See Me. This poem is about me. And maybe you'll see yourself in some of it. You don't see me, but I see you. You're stuck on sleep, get on your P's and Q's. 'Cause you will catch back with no describe. You know my rep, I keep my pros in check. I said you don't see me, but I see you. You're stuck on sleep, get on your P's and Q's. 'Cause you will catch back with no describe. You know my rep, I keep my pros in check. I said you don't see me. What you see is merely a figment of what your imagination perceives me to be, wants me to be, desires for me to be. Because see, perception is reality. But the reality of the perception is that you just don't see me. What you see is merely the silhouette of my words, the outline shapely figure of my speech. So mesmerized by the metaphors, hyperboles, and similes. So transfixed by the transitions, suffixes, and prefixes that seemingly drippity drip from the tippity tip of my tongue and form a cesspool of verbal roughage at the very soles of my feet. Eat that. It's good for you. More nourishing than vitamins and more filling than food. And it will purge your mind of all the crispity, crunchity, Kit Kat crap that they've been feeding you. Scoop that. Double scoop. Scoop it, chew it, consume it, and spew it because it's pure, unadulterated, uncomplicated truth. Because see, the truth of the matter is that you think you see new, but you don't see new. But today's your lucky day because I'm about to bless you with just a hint of a clue. See, I was conceived by two, but born of one. And in my belly, God planted the fire of 777 sons. That's 3 divines, a trinity of 4th primes, a divinely divine assignment to fuel me with the power of my words to open your eyes and expand your mind and to help you peep game to the lies behind the lies, behind the lies, behind the lies that have cataract your eyes for most of your lives. And peep, I used to just think it. But now, I know it. God must be a poet, because through my veins runs not blood but ink, and I commit poetic suicide every single time I bleed these lines onto paper just to stimulate your thoughts to think. No need for this. Just keep your eyes open wide, don't blink. For if you do, you just might miss me, for I am an anomaly, an oddity, traveling at light-type speed, not so easy for the naked human eye to see, like the quadrillions of planets beyond the fundamental 7 that our basic human optics can see. In order to see me, you've got to dig deeper than deep, like the roots of a tree, like the depths of the sea, far beyond the darkness that devours the light that compels you to reach far beyond the thoughts that you usually think and leave you dangling on the cusp of the brink of self-rediscovery. And please, no matter what you do in regards to me, never consider me extraordinary, for I never want to be labeled as extraordinary, for I'm a beautifully, intricately, masterfully composed melody, divinely designed by God for only the divine to see. Simply put, I am me. And my wingspan reaches light years beyond eternity and dabbles in infinity. My fingertips retrieving thoughts and feelings you never thought you feel and felt you never think. I will grant you the temporary permission of a VIP to momentarily tap into my chi. It's sweet like maple, thick like tupelo, and full of divine energy. For I am an entity, existing separately from commonality, ever embracing my individuality, and the fact of the matter is that I probably don't even exist in your reality. See, what I gave you was merely a glimpse, a microscopic inch, but take that with you. You can keep it, consider it a gift.